All right, guys, welcome to Team Finesse call on September 16th. So, first of all, welcome to everybody who is new to our team and joining our first team call. Welcome. Let's see. We are going to just dive right in. We have a guest speaker tonight, so we're going to just go over the basics of everything that we normally do for our team calls, and then our guest speaker will join us here in a little bit. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so tonight we are talking about the power of perspective. So I know that I've talked to a couple of you guys and we've had a little bit of struggles, I guess, as far as, dealing with objections and all of that. So tonight, hopefully, we'll answer all of your questions about that. So what I'm hoping for you guys is to please write any questions you have in the group chat or any comments or anything, because at the very end of this call, we are going to have Jacqueline go over the questions for you. So please make sure that you are asking questions, and she's taking the time out to do our call. So please be respectful of her time and use this as an opportunity to get all of the answers to your questions answered. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So diving into breaking news, the new Shift Shop packs and bundles are launching on October 1st. So if you guys have no idea what this is, make sure that you're going in your back office. I always say back office. It's your coach office. Make sure you're going in your coach office and just looking at this. Shift Shop basically was a program that, was one of the originals, and now they're kind of doing something new with it. So just make sure you're looking at that. This is the final month to get $10 off packs and the VIP early access for Lift 4. So Lift 4 comes out for the public if they already have BOD on October 1st. So just as a selling point, 10% or $10 off. Also, I'm sure by now everyone's already seen it that we are coming out with a pumpkin spice vegan Shakeology. So it comes out in the US on Monday, which is tomorrow. And in Canada, not till October 11th. I believe you have a limited number that you can buy, and you also can only buy it to a certain point. So I'm not sure the date that ends. So just make sure that this is an opportunity for you guys to be selling pumpkin spice. Also, as always, the Team Beachbody apparel is 25% off, and that ends the end of September. So if you're looking for new workout gear, make sure you're checking out the sales. Also, I'm sure you guys have also seen this. 80-Day Obsession is coming out with a special access through October 8th, and it actually only becomes available on BOD in January. So it's just, I can't remember how many extra workouts that Autumn came out with. So if you're interested, if you liked 80-Day and you want more of that, just go into your Beachbody and look through that. Okay, so some of you guys were asking what the heck Summit is, how much the prices were, and all of that. So I looked it up for you guys. It is July 11th through the 14th in Indianapolis. And if you register now, it's $180. And so I put the link at the bottom so you guys can, if you are ready, or if you just want a little bit more information, click that link on the bottom. And that offer for the $180 expires on January 6th at midnight. So if you're interested in going, make sure that you grab your ticket by January 6th. If not, the price of that ticket will go up, and it keeps going up. So at this moment, this is the lowest the cost will be for Summit. So I would hope that all of you guys can go. I know I already grabbed my ticket, and I think Anna already grabbed her ticket. So yes. So think about it. I've never personally been, but I've heard a lot of good things, and I got really jealous of not going last time, or envious rather. So just make sure it's in the back of your mind of something to do to get your business to the next level. All right, so moving into Team Finesse info. Sarah Bates, she's not on the call right now, but I know she's going to be watching the recording. She is awesome. She is super, super consistent. She just is awesome. So she added a new coach to our team this month, and I know everyone, I think I talked to a few of you girls before. I feel like we're kind of like in a slump right now, and I think that's just everybody in general. So whatever you need to do to get yourself out of that, whether it's sending extra invites or reaching out to me and setting up a one-on-one call, whatever you need to do, make sure that you're doing it, because we really need to get to the next level. And I know we can get there. We just have to work as a team to get there, because as much as it is individual work, we're all a team. So shout out to Sarah. All right, moving into just some other news. So I have been working really hard on trying to, I don't want to say rebrand, but just kind of do some different exciting things. So one of those things that I've done is I've made a virtual fitness playground. So what this is I know a couple weeks ago we talked about challenge groups and setting up those through Facebook and all of that. So what I decided to do is I have a free group going right now. It's continuous. That means I can add anybody I want in and out whenever. There's no end date. So what I decided to do was, that's great for people who want free stuff and just want extra accountability and are not like really 100% serious about it, about their health and fitness journey. So what I decided to do was make this virtual fitness playground for those who have committed to a challenge pack and who are actually serious about posting and their journey, basically. So I will open this up to any coach who is a working coach. So if you just work here and there, then maybe you just want to be, and you maybe want to be a fly on the wall, then I'll add you. But if you're interested in, spearheading this with me, this would just be somewhere where your challengers who are actually serious about working out and are potential coaches, they will go into here. So if you're interested in joining this group, let me know and I will get you guys added to that. Does anyone have any questions about that? About what it is or who's added into that? I made this specifically, I just spit everywhere. I made this specifically because I feel like I add a whole bunch of people and like to or any group that I have going, and it's hard for me to weed people out versus like on the scale of who's serious and who's not. So this page would be people who you have noticed go through a challenge group already and who keep going through your challenge groups. Uh-oh. What happened? Can you guys still see me? What the heck happened? Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. So this is for people who have already done your challenge groups and who you want to are consistent in their challenge groups. Does that make sense? So it's basically for people who are serious about what we're doing, what they're doing. Does that help answer your question, Anna? Hopefully. All right. So yes. Okay. Cool. Also, to go along with this, and while we wait for Jacqueline to hop on here, in addition to this, in addition to this page, I have added or created a email that I'm going to be sending to anyone who's interested in getting more information about anything that has to do with what I'm trying to sell. So this email would be in place of whatever you guys are copying and pasting to people who are interested in hearing more information. So this email would basically be consistent with the virtual fitness playground. So it would give them information on what we do, what if you were to buy, if they were to buy from me, what I offer, how much it is, different packages that are available so that they can see the price. It's outlined for you, and all of that. So if you guys are interested in seeing what the template for the email is, I will send that to you as well. It also, I forgot, it also includes client testimonials, and it just makes you look more professional than just copying and pasting something and sending it to people. Okay. Does anyone have any questions as of right now from what I just talked about? Okay. All right, so we're just gonna hang out, I guess. That's all I had. And then we will go into our guest speaker. Tell her ready for her. Emily, are you still sick? You poor girl. She's like dying over there. I have everyone on mute and I can just see her like hacking up along. Haley, number 2. Do you have any questions on Summit? If you do, put them in the chat, okay? Okay, cool. All right, so I see Jacqueline on. So Jacqueline, welcome to our team call. I'm just gonna go over brief info on you, and then you can kind of dive in and take the floor. So our guest speaker tonight is Jacqueline. She is a full-time teacher. She's currently planning a wedding, which I'm so excited to see pictures. I like creep every day on her Instagram. And she started coaching just in July. So she's kind of going to go over her background. She's going to go over objections and all that fun stuff. So please, 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 if you have absolutely any questions for her at any point in time, write them in the group chat because we're going to go over those questions when she is done. So Jacqueline, it's all yours.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? I get like a thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. Hi, guys. So thanks for the intro. So I'm Jackie. I am a teacher. I'm teaching first grade currently, and it's actually my first year teaching. So I'm just like getting started in the career and have a lot of stuff going on. And I'm planning a wedding. It's going to be in June. So yeah, I started coaching at the end of July, and I really I was doing the program a little bit before that, but I didn't really like want to dive in, which is funny that I'm talking about objections tonight because I had so many objections just a couple months ago. I will talk about that in a little bit, but once I finally jumped in, I was able to use all the objections that I had, and I'm sure a lot of you guys had objections too. So you can kind of use the objections that you have to bounce other people's objections back at them. So I will talk really quickly about how I'm being successful as a new coach, and then I'll jump into some objections. So I'm reading my note sheet because I'm a teacher, so I have everything written down. So success as a new coach. When I first started, probably the first week, I was just like really overwhelmed and I didn't know where to start. Even though I did like my coach's training and I did all of that stuff, I just felt like there was so much information and I wanted to do everything, but I felt like there wasn't enough hours in a day. Thankfully, it was summertime, so I had a little bit more time than right now when I'm teaching. But I would say my number one thing that's been helping me be successful is planning. So you really need to like plan out your days. In the morning when you're waking up, you should be writing down a to-do list if you haven't already the night before. I suggest getting a really good planner. I use a Happy Planner. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Happy Planners. I use the teacher edition, but it really has helped me become more consistent in my business because I don't like to leave to-do lists unchecked. So if I have that to-do list, at the end of the day, if I see something's not checked, if there's no possible way I can do it, it goes on my to-do list the next day. But I really like to get that stuff done. And then I'm doing my vitals every day. So inviting, being proof of the product, doing some personal development, even if it's like 5 minutes, even if I'm reading like a couple pages out of a book or listening to a really quick podcast, I'm trying to get that in. And then just recognizing my coaches and the people on my team, really just like loving on people. Like, and that also goes for people who don't want to join you or haven't joined you yet. Just love on everyone. Just tell them how proud you are of them for going to the gym if that's what they're doing. And I think my last thing that keeps me successful is balance. I've learned that like the first week, I just wanted to do nothing but coach. And then I was like not doing literally anything else, like setting up my classroom like I should have been. So just try to create a schedule for yourself. That'll come with planning. I really only coach like 1 hour a day, probably. That's like what I put into it. And I'm still able to gain a following and change a lot of people's lives just off of that. So this is part-time for me. And then on the weekends, I put in a couple of extra hours. But really, like in your to-do list, in your planner, put aside time that says like sit on couch with your boyfriend or fiance or husband or kids or whatever it is. Like you should be writing that stuff into. Spending time with your family is just as important as doing your vitals for your business, if not more important. So make sure you're writing those little things into. And it feels good when you can check stuff off. So if that's something you know you're going to do anyways, write it in. Okay, so squashing objections. So I like to think of objections as an opportunity. So a lot of times people think of objections as a negative thing, and sometimes they are negative. Even if we want to try to think of them in a positive way, sometimes they do come off negative. I have a couple quotes that I want to share with you guys first. And you've probably heard these or something like them before, but just write them down or think about them while I'm talking, because this is basically what I keep in mind when I'm trying to squash people's objections. These are the quotes and the things that I'm thinking about. So the first one is from Rachel Hollis, Girl, Wash Your Face. If you guys haven't read that book, then you really need to. Someone else's opinion of me is none of my business. That is a quote that I think is really important, because when you're getting these negative answers back or no answer back at all, you really need to have the outlook that their opinion of you really doesn't matter. Even if it's a negative opinion or if it is positive opinion, it really doesn't matter. You're going to keep doing the things that you do either way. So that goes with like posting and inviting and basically every interaction that you're going to have with anyone ever, not just coaching. Someone else's opinion of you really doesn't matter. If it's good, then that's great. But if it's not good, then that's great too. It doesn't matter. So someone else's opinion of me is none of my business. And then I have another one from Andrea Owen. I just started reading 52 Ways to Live a Kick-Ass Life. I don't know if any of you have heard of that one. I actually had never heard of it either, and I'm not even really sure where I got it. I was at a store somewhere over the summer and saw it and was like, it's right here. I'll show you guys the cover. And some of the chapters in there, they're really short chapters, which is why I like it. Like every chapter is only like 2 pages long. There's literally 52 chapters in here. So if I don't really have time for PD on like some days, I'll just read like one from here. Her quote that I pulled from here is, other people's negative thoughts about you are simply reflections of themselves. So if someone doesn't know you and they're giving you a negative thought right off the bat when you're messaging them, or interacting with them about Beachbody, then there's no way that reflection has anything to do with you, especially if they don't know you. So I really found that one to be helpful. And then I just have one more thing that I want to read to you guys. One of her chapters is called Stand Up for What You Believe in, even if it's unpopular. And at the end it says, there's beauty and creativity in boldness. Your boldness might not look like the next lady's or mine, and that's okay. Expressing your opinions and beliefs takes guts. It takes practice. It also takes some confidence. So muster up what you have and get out there. that is really important because everyone, all of us, what we're going to do for inviting is going to look different, and we're inviting people for different reasons. So if you're feeling like nervous because someone's going to give you an objection, you just need to build up your confidence and go out there and get it. Because if you're not getting objections, you're not going to get people to say yes either. So I think we should all be worrying about like not, like, oh, I wish this person understood it better. I wish this person got it. I wish this person would do that. Don't focus on that person that you're talking to. Focus on yourself. You should be focusing on, I wish I could explain this better. I wish I had the tools to make this person say yes. So that's kind of like from, I guess, my teaching. Like a lot of times teachers are like, oh, why doesn't the kid get it? Why aren't they getting it? Because I'm not teaching it the right way. So you have to focus on yourself. If someone's giving you an objection and really squashing you down, you need to figure out how you can better get your point across or share your love for the business in a better way. Not just to that person messaging them, but through your stories or through maybe posting on social media. Okay, so objections. So the big ones are like money and time, I think. Those are the two that I hear the most often. I have like a general rule about objections. When I get an objection, I automatically come back with like, same girl. Like I just want to be relatable. And if it's something like way out there, like I don't have any kids. So if someone's like, I have kids, I can't be like, same girl. Like, yeah, same. I have my kids at home too. Like, I'm not going to lie to them. But I am going to use my other coaches as an example, or people on my team that are coaches that have kids. So I always throw it right back at them. Whatever they say, I just say, I know that really stinks that you don't have the money right now. I didn't have the money when I started either. I literally had $200 in my account because I'm a first year teacher and I don't make a lot of money and I wasn't working over the summer, but I saw an opportunity. Another one that I've been using for money lately, which doesn't always work, but it keeps the conversation going, is, oh, maybe you could ask like your mom or your boyfriend or your husband, could they lend you the money? Wouldn't they want to see you change your life? People are not going to be like, no, my husband doesn't want to give me money. Most of the time. Sometimes they're like, yeah, my husband's the reason I can't do this. But just continuing on the conversation. It doesn't have to be like someone needs to loan you the money or something like that, but just try to continue on the conversation. When they squash you down, you just have to come back with something else. So I always use my personal experience with it. Like when I started, that's what I told my coach, Ashley. She asked me to join. I was like, yeah, I don't have $170. Like I'm literally poor. I think that's actually what I said to her. And that's what I tell these girls. I'm like, yeah, I was poor too before I started, but I can make it back for you in a week. I'll train with you every day and I'll make you back that $170. Be there for people. Time is another big one. And I just had a girl sign up this week actually as a challenger who started off the conversation with me with, I don't have enough time. That was her first answer right back to me. She said, I commute back and forth to my job 5 hours a day. I work 9 hours. I'm on the train all the time. I don't have the time. Sometimes you have to be flexible too with what you're offering. Sometimes, like I was really set on offering Lift 4 challenge packs. Starting off, like I was like, Lift 4, that's it. Like I wasn't even really offering anything else. But sometimes people don't want to stick to an 8-week program. Sometimes people just want to be able to go on and click a random workout and work out. And maybe they're not going to stick to it every day. And that's okay too. So I talk about other girls in my groups when I'm talking about time as well. Like this particular girl was talking about her commute. I know another lady in one of my groups is commutes long too. And I was like, oh, one of my challengers has a really long commute. She finds it helpful if she just wakes up earlier in the morning and gets it right done, because by the time she gets home, she's tired. I also talked about like yes, we have a challenge group and I want you to stay on track in the challenge group, but you're not going to get kicked out if you don't work out one day. No one's going to like shame you. We're here to help you. So if you can't do this 8-week program with us, there's all of these other options. There's 20-minute workouts. There's 10-minute abs. There's 24 hours in a day. So if you want it to happen, it's going to happen. Staying consistent with people is also really important. And I think sometimes people think that consistent means annoying, and it doesn't. To some people, it will seem annoying. But if a person just says no to you, my personal opinion is just move right on. Like, if their answer to you is no or stop, because that happened to me this week. Yes, someone wrote back the word stop. Have a good day. Move on. Like, you don't want to be talking to that person anyways. Stop after they voted on my poll in my story. That's why I messaged them. So sometimes you have to be consistent. If someone did someone did say something like they didn't have the money or the time, and then your conversation kind of fell off, check back in a little while and say, hey girl, have things calmed down? I know August was a hectic month for you. It's really hectic for everyone. My schedule is starting to clear up a little bit. How about yours? Or with money. Hey, have you had a chance to save up? I know we talked about you were going to save a little bit from each paycheck. So just checking back in with people. I don't know if you guys use Streak. Does anyone use Streak? No. That's kind of how I keep track. I'm not always 100% with using it. It seems too scary. It is a little bit intimidating at first. I think I can try to find a link to a video that I watched. I watched some like getting started videos on YouTube to get me started with Streak. I don't use it to track my invites. I use it to track once I have started a conversation with someone. So like, I don't track every single invite in there because that's like a lot of work to add in everyone's name. But once I start a dialogue with a person, then I can, I track it in there. So I'll say like, I have a little column that says like, I don't know what it says. It says like notes about the person or whatever. And I'll be like, said they didn't have enough time in September. So then like I check back in October and I say, hey, has your schedule cleared up? Or do you think you could commit to working out 1 or 2 days with me? Something like simple like that. Okay, let's see. So those are kind of like, I think more of challenger objections. So I'm going to kind of switch over, I guess, to a little bit more like coaching objections, because I don't know if you girls which one you're struggling with, I guess. So as a personal rule, I don't invite, okay, that's a lie. I rarely invite like, hey, do you want to be a coach? My messages for inviting for coaching come like very, very few and far between. And they usually look like, oh my God, hey, your Instagram is so cute. We could be friends in real life. I just know it. I'm looking for a girl to mentor this month. Would you be down to hear a little bit more about my health and fitness business? And those really are like, seriously, my really genuine invites. Like, that's like, I seriously saw someone, I'm like, hey girl, I feel like I want to be your friend. Like, be my friend, please. They're not like, I just want to sign up a coach to get to my next rank or to sign up a discount coach. It's someone that I want to do this business with me. And it might not even be anyone who like I know or anything, but it's like those people that you follow and you're like, I want to watch their story every day. Like someone that you really want to be friends with. I probably only send like 5 of those, maybe a week. It's like not very often. But what I do is try to get people to do like sign up for discount coaching, or once they've committed and I'm about to send them their link, I will say, oh, and by the way, it's the exact same price to sign up as a discount coach. Do you think you'd ever be interested in doing what I'm doing, helping other people? And I know I'm kind of like intertwining what a discount coach is with what we do, like actually coaching when I say that, but people love discounts. So they just want to hear that word discount, I think, a lot of times. So it's good to use that word. I guess my number one objections that I get from like coaching objections would be like, I don't want to do like a pyramid scheme business or like MLM, like multi-level marketing. They don't want to sound salesy. So those are probably like the number two things, aside from people also saying they don't have time to run the business. So these were my objections when I signed up with my coach. Was I had done multi-level marketing before for a different company, and I didn't want to sound salesy because I did before. And now I know that I don't. So you kind of just, I don't know if anyone else had these feelings when they're signing up. Like if you felt like you didn't want to do multi-level marketing, or you didn't want to sound salesy, then you're going to be able to talk to this a lot, like speak to these people a lot more easy. I don't think that made sense. You're going to be good at talking to these people. Unlike I'm not very great at talking to you right now. Words are like really hard. I'm sorry. So I did multi-level marketing 2 years ago for another company. A lot of times when people say that, I would just like ask what they sold. And like sometimes people don't want to tell you because they're not comfortable with telling you, but there is very few other companies, successful companies, that are literally selling a lifestyle change. Like that's what we're selling. We're selling making you happy and making you healthy and giving you a longer life to live. Like I love candles 100%, but when someone messages me and says like, do you want to buy a candle? I'm like, no, I'm going to get them from Marshalls, half price. Come on. I go through candles like water, quicker than water. Like I love candles, but like it depends on what you're selling. So like multi-level marketing company and it didn't work. Well, what were you selling? Because it probably wasn't this. Now there are a couple other companies out there. So if they come back with like, it was blank company or blank company, I'm not going to say them, but you're probably thinking of them in your head right now. Were you supported? Was your coach supporting you? Did you have team calls every week? Did you have trainings that you could go to? Did you have mentorship? Not just someone who signed you up and then dumped you off and said, great, I got another person on my team and then moved on. Talk about the things that Beachbody does for you. You create friendships with the people on your team. You're going to provide this, and this for them. It's not just signing up to sell stuff to make money. And then being salesy kind of, I guess, intertwines into that, because I really do feel like, and I'm sure a lot of people say this, I really do feel like I'm not selling something. Of course I am, because I understand like the $170, and like I just wish Beachbody would make it not $170. $125 or something, please, because it's hard. I mean, really, like someone messaged me, my aunt messaged me yesterday and was like, all right, so really, why is it so expensive? And I'm like, because like it's good for you. Like, I don't know why it's so expensive. Why don't you call them and ask them? I'm sorry, I don't know. But because it changes your life. That's why it's so expensive, you know? But you're not just selling a product. You really have to think about it. And really, if you don't believe this, then go think about it some more. Are you selling a product, or are you selling a way for someone to change their life and like be happier and do more things? And earn extra money to pay for their wedding or to pay for their kids, and to get you're selling people the opportunity to get gratification from helping other people. Like, that's a huge thing for me. I mean, yes, I want the money, of course. Like, I'm planning a wedding. Hello, money, I need it. But I really, really love when someone messages me and is like, hey, you're so awesome and you inspire me. Really? Because I just like sit on my couch all day with my phone. And sometimes I move to the window for better light because I can't afford a ring light yet. But thanks, like, I inspire you. Like, that's really good, you know? All right, so let me just check. Multi-level marketing, I talked about that. Talking about if they're getting support from their previous multi-level marketing. You won't sound salesy if you if you know what you're selling. Okay, so I guess I just want to like big picture it really quick, and then we can do questions. I don't know, am I like late? Oh, okay, I'm not bad on time. All right, usually I talk way too much. I'm working on that. So all of those things that I just talked about might seem like a little bit overwhelming. Like, I'm jumping all over the place. There's money and there's time and there's this multi-level marketing thing. And I know that there's like super great scripts out there for each one of these objections. And if you have time to like search through like a document to find the script when the person objects to you, then like good for you. But I don't have time to go through, like, I know the scripts are out there and I'm sure they work. So if you do have the time, do that. But I just don't. Like, I commit 1 hour to coaching every day. So when someone objects to me, I need to have a rebuttal right here, right in my head that I can shoot back at them. So I'm really genuinely talking from me. When someone says I don't have enough time and I say, same girl, I really don't have enough time. Like, I promise you, I don't. And I'm sure a lot of you girls don't. I don't know you all, but no one has enough time, right? Like, really. But you do. Like, there's 24 hours in a day. Even if, like, I don't know what job you could have that you didn't have the time for 1 hour. I don't know. Maybe there's one out there. Let me know if you find it out, because then I won't ask those people to be on my team. But you just have to give it back to them. Everything they're saying, give it back to them. And you don't want to sound mean, but you want to sound like, all right, come on. Like, do you think I've never heard that before? Really? You don't have enough time? Same. I don't have enough time. I'm doing this, and this. And you can care about what they do. You don't have to say like, oh, you don't have enough time? Yes, you do. Well, learn about them first. I mean, maybe they really don't. You don't know. Like I said, there could be a job out there that takes 23 hours a day. I don't know. But say like, what do you do? Learn about them. What do you do? Because if you're just like, you want to tell your story, you want to say that you're busy to make yourself relatable, but you want to try to work with them. You want them to know that you're going to try to help them fit this into their schedule. So for the example of the girl who I had who just signed up, like when she said like, oh, I commute 5 hours and I work 9 hours, I'm like, oh, well, this program's only 4 days a week, because I was really still pushing for the Lift 4. And she's like, I don't know if I can commit to that. And I was like, listen, you don't have to. You don't have to do 4 workouts a week. How about we just start off with, there are 700 plus workouts. Let's just get you started, and you can just find one that works for you. Maybe it's 10 minutes a day. I don't commute 5 hours. Bless you if you commute 5 hours. But like, so I can't say that I do that, but I can try to help her find time in her day to do it. Maybe we can make something more efficient for her. So I got off track again, but what I'm saying is that all of these objections that we're talking about, we can split them up and we can put them into a spreadsheet and add all of these different columns for them and reasons to write back and what to say. But we could also just use what we know in our head as We all have the time. You will make the time if you want to do it. Maybe we don't all have the money at this moment, but you can save it up in a couple weeks. Even if you're living on a really, really tight budget, you could save it up in a couple weeks or a couple months. And sorry, I'm looking at my other objections. And then coaching objections, like just show them that you're going to be an awesome coach to them, and then be happy and like try to help them from the beginning. They can't say no. Well, they can. If you're really, really nice, maybe they'll say yes. Be nice, but be stern. People want someone who's going to get them in shape, make them do the things that they don't do already by themselves. Okay, so I think that's it. Do you guys have questions?
Please. So, okay. You're like, please talk to me. I've been like wanting to mute or unmute myself this whole time. Like, yes, I agree. Yes, all this stuff. So, okay. I'm just going to say a few things, and then girls, you guys can write your comments or whatever. I know Anna had one. I'm not sure if you addressed it, but let me just go over something really quick. So we talk about this during our trainings and all of that, but like vitals every single day, and I know I'm not the best person to be preaching this, but like vitals every single day are so, so important. And I know I go over this with Ashley all the time. Like if I'm like, hey, I'm struggling in my business, the first thing she asks me is, are you doing your vitals? And 9 times out of 10, my answer, actually, you know what, 10 times out of 10, my answer is no. And so it just goes in a circle. So like if we're not even doing the 4 vitals, like we're not going to get anybody. We're not going to be successful. And all of those goals that we have are like, what's the point? So I like how you hit on the vitals every single day. And that's just like a common thing when you talk to somebody who's successful in this business are the vitals. So just remember that. Go back to your vitals. Let's see, something else you said that I love was love on everyone. So this goes also hand in hand with scripts versus just talking to someone like as a human being. I feel like sometimes, especially when we first start this business, we're like, hey girl, you should join my team. You know, it's like very scripty, and like people can see through that shit. Like no joke. They've seen that before through Beachbody, through, you know, I'm not going to name all the other ones, but all those other ones, they have a script and you can tell. And I guarantee each of you guys have received one of those messages and you just know that they're going to sell you something. So going back to maybe you talked to that person before and, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by the chat. Maybe you've talked to somebody before and they said no to you for whatever reason, whether it wasn't their time or they were just like, no. Love on them anyway, because you never know if, especially if they're still following you and they're still engaging in your posts, those are potential, I won't say clients. Yeah, clients. I call them clients. They're potential clients, whatever. They're potential coaches. And so if they see that you are just like only there to sell them something and then you just fade, you're proving their point. You're proving their point that you're selling something and that's all you wanted them for. So like Jackie said, be genuinely interested in what they do, but don't force it. I mean, we want people on our team that are like us. And if we don't have people on our, like if we're just getting people just to get people, we're going to have a really crummy team. We're going to have like coaches who don't get on team calls and just don't give a crap. And that's not what I want. And that's not what you guys want. So I liked that. Love on everyone. Let's see. I said that. Oh, and I said this last week and I say it all the freaking time, but you guys, consistency is key because people are still watching you. People are like, you can go and look in your stories and your posts and all that stuff. They might not have responded to your message to buy something, a challenge pack or whatever, but like they're still watching you and they're still engaging in your content. So it's so important that you don't get hung up on a no, because like I've told you guys before, I always think of a no as a maybe. Unless, like Jackie said, they're like, no, seriously, stop messaging me. Then, okay, then you're done. Like, have a good day, bye. And I'm sure we've all had those people, and you just unfollow them and forget about it. But, and that reminds me, I think I told Haley this before. I have started unfollowing all of the people who I let hurt my ego, if that makes sense. So there are certain people where I am envious of and like jealous of because of their success. And then there are some people who I follow who are like, I look up to them and they motivate me and they inspire me. So those are the people we need to be following and engaging in, not the people who bring you down, because then you're just going to get defeated and be like, yeah, I'm not doing any of this, you know? And it can happen with anybody on our team or anybody outside of our team who are in Beachbody. So just make sure that you're not comparing yourself to others. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but at the end, and I think you hit on this too, like, you just need to be you and you need to do you. And you said it, you said the quote, someone else's opinion on me is none of my business. And it really isn't. Like, I like to look at Instagram as a journal for myself. And you know what, if I had 0 followers, at least like I can entertain myself and I know what I did during the day. And like, at least my husband watches what I do, so he knows. And that's the only person like besides me who really matters. So try not to compare yourself to others, because if not, or if you do that, then you're just not going to succeed. So I'll get off my spiel. Let's see. What do you say to someone who has already done Beachbody in the past but quit? So Jackie, I'll let you kind of tag team with me. So if you have anything to say, you can go for it.
Okay. The first thing, so I don't know if I have anyone. I'm working on like getting my aunt to sign up, and she did 21-day fix, but I think it was when it was like a DVD, I think. So it was like a little bit different, but I would just ask why, like what made them quit last time. I'm assuming that they'll probably say that they didn't have the time or something, or like Shakeology got too expensive or something along those lines. So that would go back to objections. I would just throw that right back at them. But I would also somehow throw in there that like your team is an amazing team, you know? So like, you as a coach are going to be there by their side every day. Ask them, like, did they have accountability posts? What you do with your girls is your own thing. But for me, like, did they have accountability posts? Did they have a Facebook group? Did they have accountability buddies? Like, I'm doing this new thing, accountability buddies, with my coaches. Like on Mondays, every couple weeks, I like hone in really hard on nutrition, because I get off track, and I know probably my girls do too. So on Monday mornings, I'll post like accountability buddy, and people who want a buddy for that week will like write in. So you can do these fun things with your girls. I'm also doing like, I just did a push-up challenge, and I'm doing a sit-up challenge right now, where they can win prizes. And like, I know some people don't want to spend like their own money. And like I said, like, I am poor, but I literally give them like a $5 gift card. Like, that's it. I do like a $5 gift card, or like I ordered like an extra something from Happy Planner the other day. So like, I'll raffle that off one time. I like totally just ordered 2 instead of 1 by mistake. So say like, oh, did your last group have raffles? Did it have accountability buddies? Did it have this? Did it have this? Like, list the things that you're going to offer. Because probably they quit because no one was engaging with them to make them want to stay. Because if they were having a good time and they were in their group doing all these things all the time, then they would have wanted to stay. I'm assuming that's why they quit. I don't know why, but
okay. Let's see. Yeah, just to go off that, I would just, again, this goes back to like making sure that you're not just talking to someone like that you're trying to get a sale out of them, because you need to build trust, and that goes back to the 4 vitals. So, okay. Anna, that's why I've been struggling, because I haven't been cleared by my OBGYN. So, I think I kind of hit on this a little bit ago, like a couple weeks ago, but I feel like as long as you're staying consistent and explaining why you're not, doing X, Y, and Z, or you know what, even even going like on a walk or something. I'm sure you can do that. So kind of like just explain to them why you're doing that, and that you haven't been cleared. I mean, that goes back to however much you want to share about your personal like life. But I feel like the more that you open up and are vulnerable, and again, you can do however you want. There's some people who record themselves on the toilet, and that's where I draw the line. Like, I will never do that. No. But some people just don't care, and if that's how they want to get their followers and interact with people, that's their thing. But like, find a boundary and just get there, but make sure you get there. So
I agree with that. And of course, I don't really know like any background here, but like even just like stretching videos, like I don't know if you can just like even just do like stretching, because you can post that and say, without giving away too many details of like your personal life, like, I haven't been cleared by my doctor yet to work out, but I'm still getting my stretch in, I'm staying healthy, I'm doing this, your
Yes.
walks, like that's a good idea. And you could also really focus in on nutrition right now, because there are a lot of people that message me and say like, I can't because I broke my foot, I can't because I did this or whatever, I'm hurt, or I have whatever it is. And that's like a good, then like focus on 2B mindset or something like really nutrition heavy, 3-day refresh. Like you could focus on that kind of stuff and take a little bit of the focus off of, oh, she's not working out or whatever.
Agreed. Yeah. There's so many different avenues with Beachbody that you can do. So, okay, someone doesn't like working out, great, there's Shakeology. You don't like Shakeology, great, there's a cleanse. Like, so you just have to figure out those things. If someone doesn't buy a challenge pack their first go round, like, so what? That's fine. There's so many other things. And you don't want to look at people just as a successful point. And I know that I do this myself. I'm like, oh, if they don't buy a challenge pack, then there goes my 2 successful points. But if they, which is terrible mindset, but if you are like signing them up with, okay, 3 month, like the quarterly, whatever, or they want to just try Shakeology and just get the sample packs, hey, that's better than nothing. So
yeah, that's your time to make them fall in love with it. Still add them to your challenge group. I mean, I know some people don't. Like, some people are like, oh, if you like don't sign up with a challenge pack, you're not in my group or whatever. But like, add them, make them fall in love with it. Ask your other girls questions in the groups like, hey, how's everyone loving their Shakeology today? If you have someone who's really stubborn about Shakeology and then they see everyone else commenting like, oh my God, I love it, I love it, I love it, your girls are going to sell it for you. You won't have to talk to them about it.
Okay, I have a lot of revisit me next month. Oh, I hate those. So I do, but they're still not ready by the time I revisit. How do I handle the revisits after the first time?
Okay, so.
I just got so excited.
Okay, revisits. So I revisit, like, it depends on their response. So if you revisit the next time and they say revisit me again, okay, I'll do it. If they like slowly stop answering or something like that, I usually, this sounds really pushy, maybe it is, but I'll do like a message and then like I mark them, like I put a star if I wrote them down or whatever, and then like I'll message again, and then I'll message one more time. Like the third time I write, all right, I promise after this message I'll never bother you again, but I just wanted to reach out one last time. And really, if you got to the third message and they ignored you 3 times in a row and you can see those 3 messages where they didn't answer at all, and then you say, all right, I'm not going to bother you anymore, and they don't answer, move on.
Bye.
See you later. Not worth your time. You don't need to keep wasting time revisiting them when you can go be with someone else. However, there have been a lot of times where I've got to that third message and I say, this is the last time I'm going to annoy you. And they'll write back, oh my God, you're not annoying. I just haven't had the time to answer you. Revisit them again in a month because they took the time to answer you and to make it seem like you're not like whatever, annoying. But like we touched on before, if someone's saying like no or stop or I gotta unsubscribe the other day. So unsubscribe. I'm like, I'm not done yet. Come on.
I am not
like,
a robot.
Move on. And
That's
like,
awesome.
whatever.
All right. Haley said, I have a girl that said she was interested and she watches my stories and likes my posts, and she asked for more info, and after I told her the price, she hasn't messaged me back. I've been following up and asking if she got my message, if she had any questions, etc. Is there anything else I should be doing?
So I get these like all the time. This is actually probably my most popular, like what happens to me all the time, because people don't want to pay $170. I didn't. You guys probably weren't like, woohoo, $170. Okay, here you go.
I literally had one person who was like, that's it. I'm like, well, I mean, you can keep going up. How much you got, girl?
Damn, I should have tried to sell them the deluxe pack.
One person.
Yeah, that's happened to me
Anyways.
like once or twice too. But that also comes from who you're messaging. I did notice that. Like if you're messaging other people, like I'm a first year teacher, so of course my like main group is first year teachers, so everyone's like, girl, I'm poor. But if you're like, if you go on and you're like hashtagging like, I don't know, boss babe, office, cute office outfit or something, like they've been in their job for a little while. They're not like 20. They have the money. They're like, oh, 170, not bad. I got it. Okay, back to your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I've been following up and asking if she got my message. So if the price automatically turned them off, and she's not answering, that's obviously what turned her off is the price. I would message her back and just say, hey, girly, like I know it's a lot. Or hey, lady, whatever you say. I know it's a lot. My fiance is always like, do you seriously say, hey, girlfriend? Like, you seriously say that? Because you don't say that in real life. And I'm like, I don't know. It just comes right out of my fingers. Just say, like, there's other options for you. If that's too much for you, let's get you signed up with something else. And I know that our focus is to sell the challenge packs, but if you can get them signed up with anything, then you could eventually sign them on with a challenge pack. And like we were saying before, like something's better than nothing. So if they're just ghosting you after like you said the price, then just, hey, there's also other options. That's just the most popular. Would you want to try, the $99 one? Would you just want to do an order of Shakeology? Like, let's find out what works best for you right now.
Yeah, and I usually say something to the effect, like if they come up with price, my thing is, I always, like you said, I always bring it back to me. And so I'm never like, well, you could be saving on blah, 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 blah. I always say like, I was the same way. And instead of spending things like I'm addicted to Starbucks, instead of spending money on Starbucks, I decided to just put the money I would have spent towards that into, something like $160 or whatever, and just put it on you so that they don't feel attacked. They're like, oh, okay, maybe I could do that too. So just play around with it shouldn't be a script. I know there's a ton of scripts out there, and I feel like that should be like the last resort, because people know when you're doing a script. They just know. And if you send really long messages, they're gonna not read them. So just another thing, I really like to do videos to them, and recently they're like, oh shoot, I clicked on the video and I already, whoops. So just
I do that too.
I'm like, dang it, that was a good video. So just kind of like play around with how you're talking to people. Like just treat them like, how you would want someone else to talk to you. And prove that you're not. I think I messaged a couple girls and I was like, I will set up a video chat with you to like go more in depth about this or answer all of your questions, and to make you like aware that I'm not a robot. I'm not a human like everybody else. So yeah.
Definitely. There's definitely a time and a place for scripts.
Agreed.
I mean, not like copy paragraph scripts, but like what you would just send like on it doesn't have to be like a whole big thing. Like I don't really use scripts, but I would say my script, like if I were to use that word that I used one, is like, hey, thanks for following my health and fitness journey. Are you just a supporter, or are you looking to start yours too? Like, yeah, it is kind of a script, but I'm giving them an out right away. So I can kind of weed out the people who are like, definitely no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even watch your stories. I don't know why I followed you. And then I
Yeah.
can, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I am interested in whatever. Or maybe they say, I'm going to the gym, I don't want to join you, but they answered you. So you're starting that conversation. You can weed out the people who you're giving them an out and they're not answering. They're not going to ever answer you probably.
Agreed. All right, cool. Does anyone have any last minute questions? Cool. Well, if you do, I'm going to set up the recording so you guys can comment on that. If you're watching the recording, please, please, please let me know when you've watched it. Thank you. Thank you so much to Jackie for taking her time to go over everything. Hopefully that answered everybody's question. And I'm going to do a super quick picture because I always forget. Thanks, Haley. Okay. All right, ready? Emily, you all good? All right. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. I think we got it. So thank you guys so much. Have a good night, you guys.